Hello children, welcome back to Punam Jha ma'am's Easy Learning class. If you like the video, please click on the subscribe button and also click on the bell icon. Today I am here with a new chapter from the book First Flight. The name of the chapter is The Sermon at Benares. The Sermon at Benares is a chapter which talks about Gautam Buddha and a story about Kisa Gotami. It is written by Betty Renshaw. The author Betty Renshaw was born in United States on September 3, 1927. This is an excerpt from her book Values and Voices. She was active in teaching in preschool and she worked for missionaries, and she was also a true devotee of God. Now this is very interesting that she was born in United States and she has written about Gautam Buddha. So, what was there in Gautam Buddha that drew her to write it? This is about Gautam Buddha's teachings in life. Before I start, let's talk about the heading of the story, the heading of the chapter. That is the Sermon at Benares. The heading is the Sermon of Benares, the Sermon at Benares. And what is the meaning of sermon? Sermon is a lecture or talk which gives us knowledge about spiritual and religious knowledge about life. It teaches us to get a new way of life. It is not only a lecture or a talk or a lesson that suppose I am giving to you. This is not a sermon, but which tells us about the values of life, about the religious and spiritual ways of life. That is a sermon. This is this is about Gautam Buddha, how he gave his preachings, how he gave his lessons, and it is about that that death is inevitable for everyone. Everybody who has come to life will die one day. Now here in this chapter, let's start with it. Gautam Buddha was born in 563 BC and he died 483 BC. The age is considered, the age is counted before Christ and Anna Meridian. That is before Christ's era. He was born in 563 and died 483. He began his life as a prince named Siddharth Gautam in northern India. He was born as a prince. He was born to a king, and he was born in a royal family. So everything in royal family, he got all the pleasure of life. At 12, when he was 12 years of age, he was sent away for schooling in the Hindu sacred scriptures, and 4 years later, he returned home to marry a princess. So he was sent for schooling, and there he studied about sacred. Sacred is pure, पवित्र जिसको कहते हैं, scriptures, holy books. He went for schooling और वहाँ उन्होंने holy books को पढ़ा. And 4 years later, he came back and then he married to a princess. They had a son and lived for 10 years as befitted royalty. It was appropriate. Befitted means appropriate. So it was appropriate. His life was going fine and he spent 10 years of married life. They also had a son. At about the age of 25, the prince, heretofore matlab before, never before, right? Before now. Heretofore is before now. At about the age of 25, the prince, heretofore, shielded from the sufferings of the world. Shielded means cover. Shield matlab cover hona. So till the age of 25, he had never he had never known about any sufferings in life. Because we know that he was born in a royal family, और जब वो राजा के घर में एक राजकुमार था तो उसने कभी किसी तरह के दुख नहीं देखे. He saw everything very good in life, every pleasure of life. सारी खुशियां ही खुशियां उनके जिंदगी में और उनके आसपास थी, as he was a prince, right? Right. So theretofore shielded from the sufferings of the world, he was covered, he was protected, he was away from all sufferings of love, all sufferings of life. While out hunting, chanced upon a sick man. But what happened at the age of 25? As we know that kings used to go for hunting, kings and prince used to go for hunting. He also went for hunting, and there once he saw a sick man मतलब बीमार आदमी को मिले वो. Then an aged man, उसके बाद एक उम्र वाले आदमी को देखा, बूढ़े आदमी को देखा. Then a funeral procession, and finally a monk begging for alms. उसके बाद उन्होंने एक funeral procession देखा. Funeral procession is the ritual after the death. When one dies, there is ritual that takes place. So he saw that one man has died and the funeral was going on. And finally he saw a monk मतलब एक साधु को देखा, who was asking for alms, जो सहायता के लिए, पैसे के लिए डिमांड कर रहा था. Alm is the help in monetary or other form that is given to poor. So he saw these things and all these things made him upset. इन चीज़ों को देखकर वो बहुत दुखी हुए, क्योंकि उनको लगा कि ज़िंदगी में ये सारे दुख क्यों हैं किसी के पास. These sights so moved him that he at once went out into the world to seek enlightenment concerning the sorrows he had witnessed. अब ये sights जो है ये सब उनको बहुत बुरी तरह से हिला दिया. He was completely upset, and a time came that he could not tolerate these sorrows of life, and he left the pleasure of all royal family. और उन्होंने एक दिन अपनी वाइफ और बेटे को सोते हुए छोड़कर वो घर से चले गए. दैट इज नॉट रिटन हियर इन द बुक, आई एम टेलिंग फ्रॉम माय साइड दैट ही लेफ्ट हिज वाइफ एंड सन sleeping, and he went out in search of enlightenment. Enlightenment is a state of high spiritual knowledge. क्योंकि he wanted to talk to God, he wanted to know the reason of all these unhappiness and sorrow of life. So he wandered for 7 years and finally sat down under a peepal tree. Peepal is a tree, बड़ा सा पीपल का पेड़ होता है, तुम लोगों ने सुना होगा. So he wandered मतलब यहाँ से वहाँ भटकना. वो 7 साल तक, for 7 years he wandered from one place to another, and finally sat down under a peepal tree. और finally एक peepal tree पर के नीचे बैठे, where he vowed to stay until enlightenment came. और उस पेड़ के नीचे वो तब तक बैठे रहे जब तक उन्हें enlightenment नहीं मिली, वो spiritual knowledge नहीं मिली. जिन प्रश्नों के, जिन क्वेश्चंस के आंसर उन्हें चाहिए थे, the questions were why people die, why there is sufferings in life, why do we get old, why don't we stay at the same age. ये सारी चीज़ों के जवाब उनको चाहिए थे. So he sat under the peepal tree, and there came the time when enlightenment came to him, when he got all these spiritual knowledge in life. Enlightened after 7 days, he renamed the tree the Bodhi tree, that is the tree of wisdom. उन्होंने क्या किया कि उनको जब enlightenment मिल गई, उसके बाद वो उस पेड़, जिस पेड़ के नीचे उन्हें ये नॉलेज मिली थी, उस पेड़ का नाम रखा गया बोधि ट्री. बोधि मतलब नॉलेज, बुद्धि. So tree of knowledge, the tree was called the tree of knowledge, and began to teach and to share his new understandings. और उसके बाद उन्होंने अपनी new understandings देनी लोगों को शुरू कर दी. उन्होंने लोगों को बताया कि लाइफ क्या है, हमें कैसे जीना चाहिए. At that point he became known as the Buddha, and when he got enlightenment, everybody came to know him as Gautam Buddha. Earlier he was known as Siddharth. जब वो प्रिंस थे तो उनका नाम सिद्धार्थ था, लेकिन अब उन्हें लोग बुद्धा के नाम से जाने लगे. And now he is known all over the world. You must also have read about him in different books, in different classes. So it is followed, his Buddhism is follows all over the world. There are many countries, even in India we have different religions, but there are many countries where people follow him blindly, and they believe in Buddhism only. So at this point he became known as Buddha. The Buddha preached मतलब वही teachings जो हमें life के lessons सिखाते हैं. The Buddha preached his first sermon at the city of Benares, और उनका जो पहला ये lecture था, preaching, that is sermon, it was in Benares. Benares is the holy city in India, that is on the banks of river Ganges. गंगा रिवर के किनारे बनारस शहर है, जो बहुत ही होली सिटी माना जाता है। वहीं पर ही उन्होंने अपना पहला सरमन दिया, मोस्ट होली ऑफ द डिपिंग प्लेसेस ऑन द रिवर गैंगेज। दैट sermon has been preserved and is given here. His first sermon, जहाँ बोधि ट्री, उनको जहाँ बुद्धि मिली, वो पीपल के पेड़ के नीचे, उसका नाम बोधि ट्री है। और जो पहला सरमन उन्होंने उन्होंने दिया वो बनारस में है, most holy of the dipping places on the river Ganges. That sermon has been preserved and is given here. It reflects the Buddha's wisdom about one inscrutable kind of suffering. Inscrutable is something which cannot be understood. बहुत छोटी बारीक चीज जिसको हम नहीं सुलझा सकते हैं. So he talked about the sufferings in life. Now we are going to talk about Kisa Gotami. This is the story of a lady. To her, he taught that death is inevitable. Whoever comes to life is bound to die. Let us see this interesting story of Kisa Gotami. Kisa Gotami had an only son and he died. Kisa Gotami was a mother and she had only son. The son died one day. The son was small, young, and he died. As we know, mother loves the child very much. She was blindly in love with her son, so she became mad after the death of her son. In her grief matlab dukh, she carried the dead child to all her neighbors, asking them for medicine, and the people said, she has lost her senses, the boy is dead. क्या हुआ कि वो अपने बच्चे को, मरे हुए बच्चे को लेकर सबके पास जाने लगी और कहने लगी कि ये मेरा बच्चा मर गया है, प्लीज कोई दवाई दे दो जिससे ये जिंदा हो जाए. It was not possible. It is not at all possible that one who dies comes back to life. So everybody started calling her out of senses. They said that she has lost her senses. She has the dead boy in her hand and she is talking about the medicine that can bring this child to life. At length, Kisa Gotami met a man who replied to her request. Now she was searching, she was wandering, she was running from one place to another, one person to another. सबके पास जा रही थी, जो मिल रहा था सबको कह रही थी कोई दवाई दे दो मेरे बच्चे के लिए. In the same way, she went to a person, जिसको उसने कहा कि I cannot. तो उस वो एक आदमी के पास गई. Kisa Gotami met a man who replied to her कि मैं तो तुम्हें दवाई नहीं दे सकता हूँ. He said that I cannot give the medicine. If the means you. This is ancient English. This is archaic English, which is no more in use now. Modern English में ये नहीं हम use करते हैं. So the man said, I cannot give thee medicine. Thee मतलब you, मैं तुम्हें दवाई नहीं दे सकता हूँ. For thy means your child. I cannot give any medicine to your child, but I know a physician who can. I know a doctor, I know a physician who can give you the medicine for your son. She was mad. She said that, please give me the name of that person. And the girl said, pray, tell me, sir, who is it? I'm praying, I'm folding my hands. Please tell me the name of that doctor. And the man replied, go to Sakyamuni, the Buddha. Now he gave the name of Sakyamuni. That was Buddha. He said that there is a Muni, there is a priest, and he can give you the medicine of this dead child. Now Kisa was blind. She ran away to that person. That was Gautam Buddha. And by now Buddha had got enlightenment. He knew the reason and everything. So he will teach her, tell her what he teaches. Let us see. Kisa Gotami repaired to the Buddha and cried, Lord, my master, give me the medicine that will cure my boy. Now she started crying that please give some medicine that can cure my boy. The Buddha answered, I want a handful of mustard seeds. He said that, okay, you will have to do something for me. And that is, please bring a handful of mustard seed. Mustard is a medicine, right? So he said that, mustard is a seed that is found in everybody's kitchen. राइट वो सरसों होता है, एक मसाला होता है, दैट इज यूज्ड इन किचन. इन एवरी इंडियन किचन यू विल फाइंड इट. सो आई वांट अ हैंडफुल ऑफ मस्टर्ड सीड्स. तो मुझे वो सरसों, जिसको सरसों कहते हैं, तो कहते हैं गौतम बुद्धा कि तुम मुझे एक मुट्ठी सरसों ला कर दे दो. एंड व्हेन द गर्ल इन हर जॉय प्रॉमिस्ड टू प्रोक्योर इट, द बुद्धा एडेड, द गर्ल वाज वेरी हैप्पी कि ये तो बहुत छोटी सी बात है. आई विल गो टू एनी हाउस एंड ब्रिंग मस्टर्ड सीड. इट इज वेरी इजी. It is very easily available in everybody's house. So I'll go and bring one a handful of mustard seed. Then Buddha added, the mustard seed must be taken from a house where no one has lost a child, husband, parent, or friend. Then Gautam Buddha added that you will go to the house where nobody has died till now. मतलब अभी तक वहाँ कोई मरा ना हो, किसी का बच्चा, किसी का हस्बैंड, किसी का पेरेंट, फ्रेंड, nobody has died in that family. So you will bring the mustard seed from that particular family. Now poor Kisa Gotami now went from house to house, and the people pitied her and said, here is mustard seed, take it. Poor Kisa went to everybody's house and wanted for the seed. But everybody was ready to give the seed. But as soon as she added that has somebody died in your family, then everybody withdrew. They took back the mustard seed. जैसे ही वो बोलती थी कि क्या आपके घर में किसी की मौत हुई है, तब नहीं देना मस्टर्ड सीड, तो everybody took back the mustard seed. How it goes, let us see. Here is mustard seed, take it. सब कहते थे कि take this mustard seed, ये लेके जाओ. But when she asked, did a son or daughter, a father or mother die in your family? वो जब भी पूछती थी कि क्या आपके घर में किसी की डेथ हुई है, फादर, मदर, डॉटर, एंड देयर इज नो हाउस इन द वर्ल्ड, देयर इज नो हाउस इन द यूनिवर्स वेयर नोबडी हैज डाइड इन द फैमिली. सो दे आंसर्ड हर, अलास द लिविंग आर फ्यू बट द डेड आर मेनी. जिंदा लोग तो बहुत कम है फैमिली में, बाकी तो सब मर चुके हैं. रियली इफ वी टॉक अबाउट आवर फैमिली, फ्रेंड, एंसेस्टर्स, ग्रेट ग्रैंडफादर, ग्रेट ग्रैंडमदर, neighbors, we will see everywhere people had died. So do not remind us of our deepest grief. तो लोगों ने कहा कि तुम हमारे पुराने दुख को मत नया करो, और हम नहीं दे सकते तुम्हें मस्टर्ड सीड. And there was no house, but some beloved one had died in it. It means that there was no house where nobody had died. It means that every house had some or the other person had died. So she could not get the mustard seed. Kisa Gotami became very and hopeless. She became very sad, and she was also hopeless now, and sat down at the wayside watching the lights of the city as they flickered up and were extinguished again. Now she was looking at the lights at the street, and she saw that the lights were flickering. Last में एक बार तेज सी लाइट जलती थी, एक रोशनी सी होती थी दिया में, और वो अचानक से बुझ जाता था. As they flickered up and were extinguished again, वो बुझ जाता था. At last the darkness of the night reigned everywhere, and after that she saw that everywhere it was dark. Now she got the knowledge. Sorry. Now she saw that everywhere it was darkness, and she considered the fate of men, that their lives flicker up and are extinguished again. Now she came to know that where there is light, there is life. इट गेट्स एक्सटिंग्विश्ड, मतलब जैसे लाइट बुझ जाती है, दिए की रोशनी बुझ जाती है, वैसे ही जिसको ज़िंदगी मिलती है वो लाइट होता है, और जब ज़िंदगी ख़त्म होती है तो वो लाइट बंद हो जाती है. एंड शी थॉट टू हरसेल्फ, हाउ सेल्फिश एम आई इन माई ग्रीफ, डेथ इज कॉमन टू ऑल. Now she got this sense that I was selfish. I wanted my son back. But death is very common. It is in every family. Everybody has to suffer in life. Yet in this valley of desolation, there is a path that leads him to immortality, who has surrendered all selfishness. Now she had thought about herself, that how she thought about herself only, and she was selfish to bring her back to new life, which is not possible at all. Everybody is mortal. Everybody is, हर कोई मरणशील है, हर कोई मरता है इस दुनिया में, कोई अमरणशील नहीं है. Nobody is born here who will not die. Now she came back to Buddha, and Buddha gave the teachings. The Buddha said, the life of mortals in this world is troubled and brief and combined with pain. Now Buddha says that everybody is mortal in this house, in this world, and everybody has to suffer the troubles, and it is combined with sufferings and pains. Life is full of sufferings and pains, and everybody has to bear it. So there is no medicine for living There is no medicine for the cure of these sufferings in the life. There is no, for there is not any means by which those that have been born can avoid dying. Nobody can avoid dying. Everybody has to die, and everybody has their own part of sufferings in life. Born can avoid dying. After reaching old age, there is death. There is death which is inevitable. Everybody has to die. When we get old, we have to die. That is the natural process. That is the normal process. But abnormal process is that the child also dies. One also dies at the age of 13. One also dies at the age of 8. One also dies at in infancy. 2-3 months old child also dies. So, but normal process is when we get old, we die. So this is the normal process of nature. So he understood and he explained it to Kisa Gotami. So he said that after reaching old age, there is death. Of such a nature are living beings. This is the nature of living being. If we have come to life, we have to die. As ripe fruits are early in danger of falling, so mortals when born are always in danger of death. Whenever we have life, जब भी हम जिंदगी में आते हैं, जब भी we are born, it is inevitable that we will not die. We definitely will die. So एज ऑल अर्दन वेसल्स, जैसे कि मिट्टी की जितने भी बर्तन बनते हैं, दैट हैज टू डाई one some or the other day. This is what he is saying in the next lines. As all earthen vessels made by the potter end in being broken, so is the life of mortals. जैसे हर मिट्टी का बर्तन जो बनाया गया है वो कभी ना कभी टूटेगा. इन द सेम वे व्हेन द पर्सन कम्स टू लाइफ हैज टू डाई. Both young and adult, both those who are fools and those who are wise, in all fall into the power of death. All are subject to death. So he says that in the nature's law there is no discrimination कि वो बहुत अमीर है तो नहीं मरेगा, या वो बहुत गरीब है, या वो बहुत बड़ा है, वो बहुत छोटा है, कोई वाइज है, कोई फुलिश है. There is no bar in the law of nature. Everybody has to die, be it wise, be it foolish, be it rich, be it poor. Everybody who has come to life has to die. This is what Gautam Buddha taught that lady. So this was her preaching. All are subject to death. Everybody has to die. Of those who overcome by death depart from life. A father cannot save his son. Everybody has to die, and he says that no father can save his son, no relatives can save their relatives. So everybody has to die on this earth. Of those who overcome by death depart from life. Everybody has to depart from life. No one can save. No father can save, no kinsmen. Kinsmen मतलब relatives जो हमारे नजदीकी लोग होते हैं. Nor kinsmen, their relations. Mark, while relatives are looking on and lamenting. Lamenting मतलब दुखी होना, शोक मनाना, रोना धोना. He also says that mark, ध्यान दो इस चीज को. While relatives are looking on and lamenting deeply, one by one mortals are carried off like an ox that is led to the slaughter. So the world is afflicted with death and decay. Therefore the wise do not grieve, knowing the terms of the world. वो ये भी कहते हैं कि जो समझदार लोग हैं, जिनको दुनिया की बातें समझ में आ गई हैं, जिनको दुनिया की बातें समझ में आ गई हैं, वो दुख नहीं मनाते हैं, क्योंकि दुख मनाने से भी हमें मरा हुआ आदमी वापस नहीं मिलता है. What he says, mark, relatives are looking on and lamenting. That is led to the slaughter. Slaughter मतलब कसाई. जो so the world is afflicted, the world is full of death and decay. Therefore the wise do not grieve. जो चालाक लोग हैं, जो समझदार लोग हैं, जो इंटेलिजेंट लोग हैं, वो दुख नहीं मनाते हैं, शोक नहीं मनाते हैं, knowing the terms of the world, because they know the terms, they know the rules of the world. Not from weeping nor from grieving will anyone obtain peace of mind. रोने धोने से, शोक मनाने से किसी को peace of mind नहीं मिलेगा. On the contrary, बल्कि उल्टा ये होगा. Contrary means opposite. On the contrary, the thing will happen that his pain will be greater and his body will suffer. अगर हम बहुत रोते धोते हैं तो जुकाम होगा, खांसी होगी, fever होगा, so we will all fall ill. So Buddha says that there is no use of lamenting over death. It is better, you must understand that this is the fact of life. This is the reality of life, and we have to bear with it. His pain will be the greater and his body will suffer. If one cries, if one is in deep distress, if one is in sorrow after the death of someone, as we saw in the case of Kisa Gotami, we harm ourselves, we damage ourselves. So it is better, we must understand the fact, we must understand the nature of law. He will make himself sick and pale. वो खुद को ही कमजोर बनाएगा, वो खुद ही कमजोर होगा. सिक मतलब Bimar, pale, also weak. So yet the dead are not saved by his lamentation, and nobody can bring the dead person back. So it is better, we must understand this, and should not be affected by the death of someone. He who seeks peace should draw out the arrow of lamentation and complaint. He who seeks peace, who wants peace, should draw out the arrow of lamentation. Arrow shows the path, a new journey, a new way. जैसे एरो को हम निकालते हैं और वो सीधा आगे की तरफ जाता है. So in that way we have to be progressive. He tells us to be progressive. Arrow of lamentation, lamentation मतलब दुख मनाना, शोक मनाना, and complaint भी हम करते हैं किसी की डेथ के बाद कि उसी को क्यों हो गया, वो क्यों मर गया, and grief, sorrow is also there. He who has drawn out the arrow and has become composed will obtain peace of mind. He says that as the arrow goes in the progress, it goes in the direction. So if we have to grow, if we have to be peaceful, if we need the peace of mind, we must be composed, quiet, silent, and we must understand the fact that death is inevitable and it has to come in everybody's life. So it's better not to lament, not to grieve, not to be sorrowful, not to be sad after the death of someone. He who has drawn out the arrow and has become composed will obtain peace of mind. उसको खुशी मिलेगी, शांति मिलेगी जो इस बात को समझ लेगा. He who has overcome all sorrow will become free from sorrow and will be blessed. So this is what he said, that if you understand this fact, you will be happy. He who has overcome all sorrow, जो इन दुखों से ऊपर निकल गया है और वो समझ जाता है इन बातों को, he is blessed. This is what is there in the chapter. I hope, children, that you have understood it well. And if you like the video, please don't forget to share with your friends. And another important thing, please also do write me the doubts if you have any in the comment box, and I will definitely help you and give you the reply of your queries. Thank you. Bye bye.